tonight on Let It Rip.
When politicians in Lansing manipulate the process by picking their own voters, it undermines our democracy.
It's called Proposal 2, and you'll be voting on it next month. Supporters say it makes our congressional elections more fair, or is it really just a power grab by those who can't win at the ballot box? We've got the debate, but first, another wild week in politics and the weather as Hurricane Michael lashes Florida, the most powerful storm in half a century to hit the USA. Time to let it rip on the panel tonight. She's a consultant with an inside knowledge of media and politics and a long list of clients, public and private. Karen Dumas is ready to rumble. Next to her, a woman who was born a Republican. She's been active in the party her entire life, now clerk of Chesterfield Township. Cindy Berry is back. And so is author, consultant, public relations guru, moderate Democrat, I should say, Greg Bowens, plus conservative guru and political power player, Jamie Rowe, co-founder of Grand River Strategies. And as always, our legal guru, anchor attorney, Charlie Langton. Let's get right to it. Hurricane Michael lashing the Florida coast right now. A UN report this week said that this could be tied to global warming and that if we don't do something soon, we are in for big trouble. Of course, Donald Trump says global warming is nothing but a Chinese hoax. What do you think?
Well, I think that given who we have as a leader, as a president, if you will, we're in trouble anyway. We're global warming notwithstanding. But global warming is real. You know, Trump pulled us out of the Paris deal and said it's not serious. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm confused. I really am. So maybe Jamie, being Donald Trump's good friend, can give us some insight and clarity as to what all this really means.
You know, and I think that we've had hurricanes before Donald Trump became president. There were hurricanes. Is the climate changing? The climate probably is. But one volcano that blew up in 1988, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, put more greenhouse gas into the atmosphere than the entirety of the Industrial Revolution. I think it's ultimate arrogance of man to think that it's all our doing. The fact of the matter is that the thing on the hurricanes is we just got to make certain that the government does its part to make certain that they take care of people who are in harm's way.
Like they did in Puerto Rico?
And I think that they're doing it.
Like they did in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, you know, this speaks to just the fact that we have to have a conversation about what reality is, speaks volumes about where we are as a country. Facts do matter. And the idea that somehow we can't agree on a basic set of facts that would allow for us to be able to take care of people who are in harm's way, meaning our contribution to the weather pattern and to how things evolved, is unbelievable. There was a time when you were a scientist and people respected the opinions of scientists because they would do the drudge work. And science is all about doing experiments and getting the same result over and over and over again. That's how you prove what's true and what's not.
But Greg, Donald Trump says it depends on which scientists you talk to, Cindy. There are some scientists who agree that global warming is a huge threat, but others say there's no problem. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because in the New York Times article that is talking about this, the fact is that their own scientists are saying that this is based on computer modeling. There are no experiments. There's no empirical evidence that we can look at. So isn't that interesting? That this is simply based on computer models, and many of us who've dealt with computers know what they teach you is garbage in, garbage out. So I would suggest that perhaps that's the case. But let us not forget what the former chief of staff for Barack Obama said, Rahm Emanuel, very famous for saying that we never let a crisis, serious crisis, you know, go basically untaken advantage of. And I'm paraphrasing there, but you know, you never let a good crisis go to waste.
Is there a crisis in the White House right now with the sudden departure of Nikki Haley from the UN? Why did she suddenly decide to leave? Is there some secret here?
I don't know.
Anybody that got any sense will be leaving.
No, they're not.
Everybody.
I don't know. I don't have any insight into Nikki Haley, but she's leaving and she wants to do something else. I mean, she gave a nice little goodbye speech the other day.
In which she praised Ivanka Trump and praised Jared Kushner.
Well, it's an honor to serve.
And Donald Trump.
but that's okay. I mean, if she wants to leave, she wants to leave. Maybe there's something else going on. I don't know if it's you can equate this with some mass exodus of the White House, but who knows?
Well, it's been well reported that Nikki Haley and her husband are far in debt because of the kind of house that they bought, and she only makes, I guess, it's $180,000 a year as the UN ambassador, and so, you know, getting back out and being able to make up some money and make up for some of that debt that you naturally occur from running campaigns, from running, you know, for office and stuff like that. So that's supposedly the deal, is that she's trying to play catch up now, and I can understand that. I mean, you know, she's young, she can get out there and make some money, right?
Well, who's going to replace her? We have a young man who has submitted his name already. Dennis Rodman has submitted a video to Donald Trump saying that, hey, I would like to be UN ambassador. You think he has a chance?
I think
he does have a degree. So let's he is a college graduate. I don't I don't know, who knows, but he didn't make his fame off of that. I mean, I guess the thing is like,
and is he a Republican or a Democrat? I'm not sure.
I can't advocate for
I'm guessing that President Trump will have better people to choose from than Dennis Rodman. I'm a bad boy Pistons fan, so I love Dennis Rodman, and I think he actually did help break the ice with North Korea, apparently. But Rick Grinnell who's the ambassador to Germany, who worked for a long time at the UN during the Bush administration. Heard his name is on a short list along with a number of others that are very qualified and will do a great job.
I think
Governor Haley, I think he's right. That Governor Haley was governor for 8 years. She's been doing this UN job for 2 years, and maybe it's time to take a break, make some money, recharge the batteries. But I'll just tell you this: I think she is very popular within the Republican Party, and I think there's a big future for her. And the president has basically come out and said, anytime you want to come back, you're welcome.
And she has said she is not going to run for president. She is instead going to support Donald Trump in 2020.
Well, let's be honest, though. Donald Trump is not going to pick anybody black to be ambassador to the UN. He's not going to pick any. I mean, who does he put up there?
But that doesn't leave Dennis Rodman or Kanye West off the list.
It doesn't?
You said nobody black.
Oh, right. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, just look around the cabinet. It's not going to happen. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. So even throwing Dennis Rodman's name out there as a potential pick is just ridiculous because they wouldn't even consider a person to come.
Well, you're speaking of Kanye West, and that brings up the whole notion of celebrity. Now that we have a reality TV star in the White House, there are some who believe that the cult of celebrity is now more powerful than ever. Just last night at the American Music Awards, Taylor Swift got on stage and, accepting her award, said, everybody get out there and vote. Kanye West has gone around the country. In fact, he was here in Detroit just last night, still wearing his MAGA hat, Make America Great Again hat, supposedly set to meet with President Trump at some point this week to discuss prison reform. So could we see Kanye West in the White House in some capacity? And does the cult of celebrity trump what politicians say?
I think so, but Kanye West and Taylor Swift are trying to remain relevant. When people are trying to make a difference and certainly use their platform for good, I mean, and certainly they should, celebrities and sports figures have done it for generations. Somebody like Chance the Rapper, who has committed $1 million to the city of Chicago for mental health. Certainly this is World Mental Health Awareness Day. That makes a difference. Somebody like LeBron, who is investing in a comprehensive plan to address education. That makes a difference. Taylor Swift got trashed on Twitter because people were saying that where has she been? Where has her voice been all of this time? You know, when there's a struggle, the Me Too movement and the whole 9 yards, she didn't use her celebrity to elevate the voice of women. So she and Kanye, in my opinion, are trying to remain relevant. However, Kim Kardashian was successful in getting a release. So there is some value in their voice. President Trump listens to them. I mean, I guess celebrity conversation. So there is some value in there.
Celebrities have done this for years, though. Ted Nugent has been speaking out on the Republican side. Bruce Springsteen. I mean, go Cher. You can name a celebrity. Many of them. People love celebrities, and they have a voice. And now with social media, Taylor Swift can say something on social media, and all of those people start following. I don't know if it's a bad thing. You take people that people respect and like. You earn that. You don't just get it. It's not given to you. You earn it. And if you want to make a statement, people can agree or disagree, but that's the platform. We like celebrities. That's what America is.
But to your point, there is, and I'll go ahead, you can go right in there, but to your point, I think celebrity is the cachet that can get you into the White House that may be able in some kind of way give the image of influencing policy. I mean, you know, Bono was able to get in with Bush, I think it was, and change some things, but here it seems more clear that if you want to get in the front door, you got to be a celebrity.
I've been around campaigns for a long time. Everybody you want to bring a celebrity, it brings eyeballs, might help get some, you know, butts in the seats or whatever, maybe a little bit of money, but just remind everybody that the last night of the campaign in 2016, Hillary Clinton was in Philadelphia doing a big concert with Beyonce and Jay-Z and Barack Obama and Michelle Obama and everybody under the sun. And 24 hours later, not only lost the state of Pennsylvania, but lost the election. So it's a little bit overrated. I think it can be fun. It can help energize your troops. We're having Kid Rock in town next week for John James. And I'm sure that'll be great, and it'll help bring some attention to a guy who deserves it.
You know, Hill, but who cares cares about their voice? What about their vote? I'd like to have these celebrities post on their Instagram their voting records. I'd like to know if Taylor Swift has ever voted before, because let's not forget the lesson that we learned in 2000 from Ben Affleck, who was stumping all over the country for the entire Democratic ticket. Not only had he not voted in 96, 98, he didn't vote in 2000 either. So I'd like to see some votes along with those voices.
Point. Meanwhile, we have two celebrities who had been in the broadcast booth for the Tigers for nearly 17 years, Mario Impemba and Rod Allen. But tonight we've learned they've been fired because of a fight they reportedly had in the broadcast booth back in September. It's shocking to me that this would happen after so long. I don't know exactly what happened, but what do you think went on?
They don't like each other. and you know what the thing about it, I think viewers can see it. There's got to be a chemistry. Now that's not, we can take a look at there if they have the chemistry. But a successful show's got to have chemistry. If these people can't work together and fight, they don't deserve to be together.
But I have worked in an environment where employees have thrown chairs at their bosses, and they were both reporting back to work the next day. That's what surprises me, that they're gone.
But I've heard that they had some long-standing, deep-rooted issues, and I guess it just wasn't able to transcend, you know, the chemistry that they do have on the air. People love them together, but for whatever reason, honestly, I mean, conspiracy theory notwithstanding, I think it was something personal. I mean, it had to have been somebody's wife, girlfriend. I don't know. It was way personal. That's too deep, because you should be able to work with someone, whether you like them or not, and go your separate ways. Obviously, that wasn't the case.
I'm a Tiger fan. I'm shocked. My wife and I love watching Rod and Mario. I always thought they had great chemistry together. And it's just that whole thing was shocking to me. But
you two
and they're going to be tough to replace.
Yeah.
It'd be like Huel and Charlie going at each other.
Well, you know, I only hope that Rod and Mario will at some point appear on Let It Rip to reveal the truth. That was what really went on.
Maybe if they make it, they get their jobs back. Right?
Exactly.
We wouldn't throw any chairs.
Exactly.
No chairs.
All right, coming up, most of us would like to believe that the election process is fair for everybody, but critics complain that in many cases it's rigged. The outcome predetermined by the way voting districts are drawn. But you'll have a chance to change that November 6th. Good idea or just another way to rig the elections for the other side? We'll debate that proposal too, next.
Instead of voters picking their politicians, the politicians pick their voters. That's just wrong. And Proposal 2 will fix it. Proposal 2 gives citizens the power to decide.
Now, that's one of the ads for Proposal 2 on your November ballot, a plan to change the way the state draws its congressional districts. Welcome back to RIP. With us right now, the dynamo who led an army of volunteers to change the current system in Michigan. She's not even 30 yet, but her Voters Not Politicians campaign could have an impact on Michigan for decades to come. Proposal 2 is on the ballot. Katie Fahey is here tonight. So is Tony Daunt, the executive director of the Freedom Fund, now fighting to defeat Proposal 2, calling it complex, confusing, and unfair. Next to him, Kyle Richardson, an engineer by training, but regional director of the Wayne County office of Voters Not Politicians. And he's, of course, supporting the proposal. And, of course, conservative Republican Jamie Rowe doesn't like it at all. We all know Charlie, so here we go. Now, let me read the way I've condensed this. And Katie, you tell me if I'm right. This is what is on the proposal. We're going to condense it right now. Instead of the party in power actually redrawing the congressional districts every 10 years, Proposal 2 will allow the Secretary of State to select a 13-member commission, am I right, made up of 4 Democrats or 4 leaning Democrats, 4 leaning Republicans, 5 independents or members of other parties, Libertarians, Greens, whatever you want. Any new district would then have to be approved to show that it had no advantage to any political party, incumbents, or municipal boundaries. Does that boil it down?
Yeah, it's a random lottery is how they get chosen, but the Secretary of State's office will make the applications available for people because they handle all the other elections in the state.
Now, this is amazing that you were able to get this done, 425,000 signatures, and after challenges legally before the Michigan State Supreme Court, where there is a Republican majority, and you still got it on the ballot. But the complaint is You're doing this because you're mad at the outcome of the election in 2016. You did this 2 days, they say, after Trump won, and so you thought the way to get back is to redraw the map.
It's actually the complete opposite. I come from a family of politically divided folks, and the 2016 election was really exciting for me personally because I'm a very informed voter. I really was passionate about the Kent County Drain Commissioner race, but my friends and family often weren't. And my family was really mobilized around the 2016 election, but it was for two reasons, because of Bernie Sanders and because of Donald Trump. And to me, when I was looking at both of them, the drain the swamp and the political revolution message that both of them had were really talking about not something that one politician can accomplish, but was really talking about the whole system that we have in politics, and really about how politicians aren't really listening to us, no matter which side of the aisle you are. I don't really feel like politicians are accountable to us, more to lobbyists or special interests. And so when I was going to Thanksgiving, thinking about going to Thanksgiving, I wanted to find a way where we could still talk about those things even though the presidential candidate had been chosen. And so I thought about gerrymandering and how really we have a system that's rigged. In Michigan, Democrats have taken it over, Republicans have taken it over, but it's one of those things that I think all of us should be able to come around together to actually agree on, so that voters come first and not politicians. And it actually worked. All of my family has been really supportive of the campaign and have been volunteering and have yard signs now, but it really was to try and find something to be positive about in politics for once.
That would seem like a great idea, that she wants everybody to have a seat at the table. What's wrong with that?
Well, I think they deserve credit for what they've done to get this to the ballot, but ultimately for a proposal that purports to get more people involved. We want to have the people in place. We want the voters to do this. It excludes hundreds of thousands of people, if not upwards of 1 million people here in Michigan, simply by virtue of their civic engagement. It forbids people who are active as a precinct delegate, for instance, people who run at the very most local level to be involved with their party, people who are involved with their local county party, township trustees, but not only those people, but their family members, their parents, their kids, their spouse, stepchildren and step-parents. For a system that wants to get more people involved, that's an odd way to do it.
I think they don't want partisans on that commission. But meanwhile, the point is that you're simply replacing one majority system with another system because you're not in power right now. How do you answer that charge?
No, I mean, I have a similar story to Katie's. I mean, I got involved with this because for years, you know, basically since I could vote, I've been playing referee at my family's Thanksgiving dinner table. And, you know, we had different politics, and we would argue about things, and things would get too heated, and I would kind of play referee and say, no, look, the reason, you know, we're digging into these trenches is that it's about we're being forced to these partisan sides when we don't need to be. You know, we actually have a lot more in common than what we're led to believe by this partisan focused system. And really, the problem is gerrymandering. The problem is we have districts that favor one party, that are drawn for one party to win it. And so then you get these extreme politicians. The only way to win is to go to your base, to go to the people on the far extremes of your party. And then that's what we get. Then we look at Congress and we wonder why it's a 9% approval rating. It's because people know it's messed up. People know that we're getting politicians that don't actually represent what we want.
Well, let's look at some of the maps. When you talk about gerrymandering, some of the maps in Michigan are absolutely unbelievable. Look at this. This is the 4th Congressional District.
Yeah.
It starts there in the south, meanders up along a road.
That is not the Michigan's 4th Congressional District deal.
The 9th, excuse me, the 9th Congressional District. 9th.
No, it's not.
That's not? I'm not sure what
This one is, yeah.
I'm not sure. But the thing is, it looks ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous the way it's drawn right now. You're picking pockets of people and neighborhoods just so you can elect certain people in a party, Jamie.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. That is not. That's the 9th District.
Okay,
right?
there it is. Okay, that's...
Okay.
They mislabeled it, but anyway.
And
you can tell just by looking
not
at
a Michigan district. No, I know what our map looks like.
You helped draw those lines, didn't you, Katie? Didn't you help draw that map?
No, the legislature drew that map. Well, I'll tell you this. Katie said she was interested in the Kent County Drain Commissioner race, but didn't tell anybody where she spent election night in 2016, which is at Hillary Clinton's victory party in New York City. She also doesn't say who the biggest donor to her campaign is a guy who said 2 days ago, when they go low, we kick them, which is Eric Holder, who was the former Attorney General of the United States.
Actually, the people of Michigan are a top donor.
I didn't interrupt you. She also didn't tell you that the biggest contractors on our campaign. One, the Benenson Group, which is Hillary Clinton's chief strategist. The polling is done by the Mellman Group, which is giant Democrat polling firm, and their online fundraising is done by a group whose slogan is #WeFundTheResistance. So don't tell me that this is a bipartisan group of people, because it's not.
But Jamie,
this is totally run by the left trying to rig the system.
But you're not here to say that there are not millions flowing into your side either, are you? You're not here to say that there are not millions flowing into the coffers of Republican candidates who are being told what to say and how to vote every day. That happens on both sides, does it not?
There are well,
both sides. Well, both sides. There's money flowing into both sides, is it not?
Check Alyssa Slotkin's campaign with all of her Hollywood, New York, Washington, D.C. money coming in to fund a candidate who doesn't live here. So, yeah, that happens on both sides.
Yes.
To some degree, it happens on both sides.
That is the American politics.
The fact of the matter is,
sadly,
the people who draw the maps now, the legislature that draws the maps, all 148 of them are accountable to the people of Michigan who elect them. This group, 13-member Star Chamber, will be accountable to nobody.
Here's the problem real quick, though, for me, though. There's a very complicated proposal. We're going to get a little snippet of it. It's 8 pages long. I took a look at it, and I still don't really understand all of it. The problem is a 13-member commission appointed somehow. What is the possibility that we could get someone like a Karen Springer on that committee? And I don't know that really there is any really way to vet out the people that shouldn't be on any committee.
And I think
that's the problem.
That's really gets to where
Karen Springer, by the way, was elected.
I don't.
Okay, all right. Let me remind you of that. Go ahead.
You know, I'm very skeptical of politicians and of government. That's why I'm a conservative. You know, I don't care who's in charge. I'm skeptical of them. I want them to have less power. But ultimately, what this proposal
and yet the power to draw the districts. Less power, but you still want to have the power to draw the districts.
This proposal right here is it's costly. It's a blank check. These people are unaccountable. That what Jamie said. It's unfair, which I've already hit on, and it is complex. And it's going in the Constitution. I think ultimately this is bad policy to begin with, but to put it in the Constitution is a dangerous experiment we shouldn't be.
Right now, polls show that it is far ahead and is winning across the state of Michigan. So who knows what will happen in November, but you've all made some very good points, though. We appreciate your comments. You've heard from the panel. Now it's your turn when Charlie takes the show on the road.
What do you think about Proposal 2?
I'm sorry, I'm not aware of Proposal 2.
Some people say that an independent group should draw the districts for Congress and the legislature as opposed to the party that's in political power. What do you think?
The maps are right now. It's not fair.
Right now it's fine.
But let me show you. Here, hold that for 1 minute, okay?
All right.
Hold on.
See, I don't educate myself on politics. I just don't like politics.
So there's a map of Brenda Lawrence's district. Is that fair?
No, but I'm a Republican, and that's the way I like it.
Because, like, it's like a L. It's not, they don't live together.
The citizens should have a voice in how the district lines are drawn, and the politicians will continue to do that in favor for their own benefit.
Our districts and our representatives should be like Macomb Township, Harrison Township, Shelby Township, in the neighborhoods that we live.
It's kind of gerrymandering, don't you think?
Yeah. I had to ask my fiance what that meant.
Time for final comments. 20 seconds for everybody, starting with you.
Proposal 2 is about making the lines drawn in a way that's fair and transparent. And if you want to learn more, you can go to yeson2.com.
I'm going to take the opposite view. That Proposal 2 is it's costly, it's unaccountable, it's complex, it's unfair. It's 3,200 words added to the Michigan Constitution. It's only 6,300 words for the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights all combined.
Over 10,000 Michiganders have stepped up to actually fight to make this proposal be put into place from across the entire state. We had signatures from all 83 counties. Right now, the process cannot get more corrupt. It is the politicians who have every conflict of interest possible who are picking and choosing whether they want you to be your voter.
On both sides.
On both sides. Democrats and Republicans have done it, and Proposal 2 makes it so that we can do a new process where voters and not politicians will draw these lines.
Jamie.
Democrats lose races in this state because they have bad candidates, not because we have bad lines. This is an unnecessary solution to a problem that doesn't exist, quite frankly, and it is costly. And if you are The people who draw the lines now are accountable to each and every one of us at the ballot box. The 13-member Star Chamber is going to be accountable to nobody.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like that we have very little general elections for Congress. Most of the Congress, there are exceptions, but most of the people running for Congress is decided in the primary because the districts have been drawn all Democrat or all Republican. I don't like that. I wish that could change. However, this 13-member, I just don't know who these people are, and that scares me.
Well, according to recent polls, we are split down the middle. 50% of us are Democrats, 50% of us are Republicans. I would like to see districts drawn so that figure is reflected everywhere we go, because then we would get the kind of compromises we need to get things done for everybody of both parties. End of discussion. We thank you for your comment. And we thank you for watching this edition of Let It Rip.
The Let It Rip discussion continues online. Sound off on Facebook, Twitter, or fox2detroit.com.